I'm Joanna Mason, and I work with my dad at iGavel, an online auction company. And today he's going to tell us a little bit about the art objects from his gallery.
I have 3 items here that are good examples of the types of things that people usually refer to as jade. What people usually don't know is that jade is actually 2 stones, 2 different types of materials. One is nephrite, and the other is a material called jadeite. This is an example of what we call celadon jade, or nephrite. The color celadon is a pale green color. And the first thing that you notice about it is the shape. And this is what's called a censer. So the top opens up, and the idea would be that you'd fill the base with sand, and you'd put incense sticks in it.
And this would be used in a home?
Or maybe on an altar. But by the 19th century, when this was made, this had been disassociated from any ritual purpose, and it's just the same shape. So it's based on a shape that was maybe 3,000 years old.
Okay, but this one is just for decorative purposes.
This is just for decorative purposes.
Okay.
But the color celadon refers to this pale green color, and it's a French word, which means just pale green, sort of ocean color.
Okay.
So this is
Real jade.
This is nephrite, and one of the characteristics of nephrite is the stone itself is a fibrous stone. If you were to break it, it doesn't break in sharp lines, which is very different from another stone, which we call jadeite. And often these are confused, and people call them both jade. Exactly, but they're not.
Okay.
So jadeite most often comes in colors that range from pale to bright green, like this example. And this is also based on an archaic form, an ancient form, but made in the 19th, 20th century to be more of a decoration. And you can see these bright green patches that are scattered throughout. Sometimes this comes in colors of lavender and almost orange. And one of the other features of jadeite that is very different is it's a crystalline structure. So when you break it, it breaks into angular sections. So it's a completely different mineral, different stone rather.
And
completely
really,
different stone.
the only similarity is that they were made in the same kinds of forms.
Exactly. They were
And
used by
they
carvers for the same kind of decorative purpose. Jadeite also was not really used for carvings in China until after the end of the 18th century. So in the late 18th century they started to use it, but most of the examples we see date from the late 19th through mid-20th century.
Okay.
And that's when this dates from.
Does jade have more value than jadeite generally?
It's hard to say. I mean, jade depends on the color and the quality of the carving and the age. And the very best examples of nephrite carving are those that were made for the imperial household in the 18th century or earlier. And some of those can be very, very valuable. Jadeite, though, can be very valuable too, and it's often referred to as imperial jade. This is another very common color that you get for nephrite, and it happens to be the same shape. It's a censer cover, but really not meant to be used, more as decoration based on an earlier form. And this is dark green, as you can see. So those are the 2 principal colors you get from nephrite. Dark green and sort of a pale green that we call celadon. And here's just another carving that is more of typical of what you get with jadeite. And again, you can see these bright green patches of color. And the quality of the carving is quite good. So this is something that would be pretty desirable.
What is this exactly?
It's a pendant.
To
To put on a necklace and to hang around your neck.
Okay.
Here's another stone. This is called rock crystal. And
It looks like glass.
It looks exactly like glass. And one of the ways that you can tell that this isn't glass is, in fact, if you were to look under it with a magnifying glass, you'd not see bubbles in it. And in glass, you will find bubbles.
Interesting.
And so rock crystal, and again, this is a 20th century carving, not terribly valuable, but it illustrates another type of stone. And then finally, another stone. This is agate, and it's sort of a pale brown color. Same shape, carved in the 20th century as a decorative item. Not terribly valuable and not particularly well done. But again, it illustrates the type of material that was available in the 20th century.